back with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. So it looks like Botch and Floppin', Cardi B, Every Time remix that she just dropped featuring Jeezy only earned 33,000 streams its first full day on Paolify. No, it's not funny. This must be fake. I don't believe these numbers. Something happened on Paolify. There's got to be a glitch. 33,000. Now, a lot of people are clowning Cardi B because JT's Girls Gone Wild, which Cardi B fans were trying to say was a flop, earned 139,000 streams its first full day of release on Paolify, which is like 3 times more than what her and Jeezy did. How you got 3 people on one song and JT's out streaming it? See, this is why I don't take Cardi B seriously. This is why. Didn't you say in Imaginary Faces, Surgery Players, whatever the song was called, I forgot because it was a flop. But didn't you say if you did their numbers, you would hop off a plane or jump off a plane? When is you jumping off that plane? Because it seems to me that oftentimes you do, whoever you consider flopping, you do their numbers and worse. And then you pretend like, those numbers don't exist. Like, she's not going to acknowledge this 33,000 in streams. Her fans are not going to acknowledge it. But we got to acknowledge it because you did say in Imaginary Faces that if you did their numbers, you would jump off a plane. I want to see you jump. I'm serious. When will you be jumping off the plane? Because you've been flopping ever since WAP came out. And you be pretending like you do good numbers. So that's my issue with you. You be trying to shit on Bia and JT, but you be doing their numbers. The same numbers they do, you do worse. So, unfortunately, I do have to give Cardi B another 50,000 lashings. I do think that Cardi B does owe JT a public apology because you were shitting on JT's numbers and Bia's numbers, but are you going to shit on this 33,000 streams? Are you going to shit on that or no? Are you going to pretend like that don't exist? Okay? So, Cardi B fans, I want y'all to acknowledge this 33,000 in streams. I don't want to hear she got sabotaged. I don't want to hear no excuses. Y'all better acknowledge it because we definitely will be acknowledging it every time Cardi B pops that big yuck tongue and talks shit about other female rappers' numbers. We will be acknowledging it. Now, moving on to Doja Cat. Doja Cat, who is on Musty Walker's album, we're going to get into that a little bit later, is preparing to do another feature run in 2026. Now, in 2025, she did do a few collaborations. She did a song with Rack Harlow. Okay, she did a song with Lizzo. She did a collaboration with Ray and Lisa. Okay, if you guys remember that. And then, she's on the Musty Walker album. She did a song with Don Toliver. So she's done a few collaborations this year. Of course, none of them really popped off like that. But in 2026, she is preparing to do another feature run to show you bitches who is really the princess of rap. And let's not forget, she got a song with D0JA coming and Megan Thee Stallion. Megan did say that she was going to call Doja Cat to be on her album.
We want Doja. We want all the things.
Now, I think a Doja Cat feature run might be really good for her. Okay, especially since the V album didn't do too well. And I feel like Gorilla Glue has kind of done a feature run too. Gorilla has been collaborating with everybody, and I feel like a lot of the newer female rappers, they're going to be doing that between albums just like Nicki Minaj did. Now, moving on from that, it looks like Klay Thompson decided to stick up for Megan Thee Stallion after it was discussed on a podcast on how Klay Thompson is playing. A lot of people are blaming Megan Thee Stallion for the fact that they feel like Klay Thompson has been trash this season. I don't really watch basketball like that, so let me know if you guys feel like he's been trash or not. But this is what they had to say about Klay.
He trying to get him a pass. I ain't never seen Klay not shoot it like this. And for him to say I'm out of my prime, like, come on, Klay, like, come on.
He said that?
Yeah.
How many?
Yeah, he's got a beautiful.
So yeah,
speaking of BBL,
yeah.
I'm from West Virginia, man. I've been taught a lot by some old folks, old white folks. It only takes one to drag a battleship across the desert. That's how powerful it is. So
Most wars
it got something to, you know what I'm saying? Klay Thompson, I ain't saying that's what it is, but that might be what it is.
Now, Klay Thompson said, referring to my girlfriend as coochie is so disgusting and disturbing, especially from someone who played in the NBA. How would you feel I referred to your wives in such way? And added, Patrick Beverly, who is the owner of the podcast, do better, fellas, very disappointing. After kind of seeing the clip, I don't really feel like they was intentionally trying to be disrespectful. They were just basically saying that he might be coochie whipped, which I don't know if I fully believe. I feel like, so he is the only basketball player that has a girlfriend or a wife that is giving him coochie and he's the suckiest player right now. I don't feel like that makes a logical sense. I feel like people are just blaming Megan Thee Stallion, but I feel like there's a reason why he got traded from the Warriors to a different team, because the Warriors used to be one of the top teams in the NBA. Now, I don't know if they're the top anymore, but the fact that you getting traded and Steph Curry and other players that have been on that team for a long time, they're not getting traded. That means that maybe you've been sucking for a while. And if he's past his prime, maybe he should retire. Okay, that's what people that are past their prime do. They don't just play and continue to suck. If you're past your prime, maybe you should retire. That doesn't make any logical sense to say that and still want to be on the court. No. Now, a lot of people are not happy with this, but Queen Bee was named one of the 5th biggest songwriters of the century by Billboard. Okay? So she was named the 5th biggest songwriter in the century. And unfortunately, a lot of people are upset about this because they're saying, well, Beyonce don't write. Well, she don't write, but she produces. Okay? And producers get writing credits, if you don't know. Okay? So, yeah, she might not be, a great writer, or she may not write a lot. But I feel like, it should still count because producers get writing credits and she produces a lot of her material. So I feel like that has to count for something. Also, I feel like Beyonce is an album artist, and I don't feel like Beyonce has an album that has been ever in her career that has been complete trash. You may say you don't like certain songs or you don't like the creative direction, but there's never been an album that Beyonce has released. Y'all can say you don't like Cowboy Carter, but you can't say the album sonically didn't sound good. That's what I mean by trash. I can understand you not liking some of the songs on Cowboy Carter because there was a lot of songs I didn't like. I didn't like Texas Boredom. I never listened to that song. But I wouldn't say the album was trash because sonically, the album as a whole sounds great, and I do feel like it's going to stand the test of time. So, a lot of people are complaining about this, but I feel like number 5 is a, good area for Beyonce. I feel like that's a good rating. She shouldn't be number 1, okay? But I feel like this is a good rating for Beyonce, number 5 or top 10. So I feel like this is a W anyway. Now, moving on from that, the highest grossing tours ever performed by rappers, the king of rap with the princess of R&B is at number 1 with 332 million. Okay, they did on their tour, which, mind you, this was only 34 shows. That's what's really impressive. This is only 34 shows, and Kendrick is going back on tour in December. So we got to give tens when tens are due. Okay? Because other rappers are not doing these numbers. And Kendrick is like the only rapper besides maybe Kanye West doing stadiums. Kanye West doesn't even do a full stadium tour. He does like a show here and there because he blackballed. But Kendrick is the only one doing stadiums. So we got to give tens when tens are due. Now at number 2, Champagne Thickums. It was all a Blur tour with him and 21 Below Average. They grossed $321 million. This was with 80 shows though. So there's a big difference. 80 from 34. Still a W though. That's still a W for Champagne Thickums, so congratulations. On the Run tour with Camel Face and Queen Bee grossed $254 million. Circus Maximus with Travis, the Festival Killer at 209. The Big Steppers. This is Kendrick's solo tour he did back in 2023. He did 1,100 mil, okay, for the Big Steppers. Then we got the Queen of Rap, Pink Friday 2 at 109. The Final Lap with 50 Cent, 105 mil. Aubrey and the Three Migos did 103 million. Okay, that must have been from like 2018, 2019. Summer 16 by Champagne Thickums and Future did 81 million. Watch the Throne with Kanye and Camel Face did 79 million. Damn with Kung Fu Kenny did 77 million. And NBA YoungBoy's tour has grossed 75 million so far. Astro World did 64 million. And Would You Like a Tour with Champagne Thickums again at 60 million. So congratulations to everybody on this list. It's going to be interesting to see who will be doing another stadium tour besides Kung Fu Kenny. I definitely feel like the big 3 could do it. Champagne Thickums, Nicki, and Wayne. But the thing is, Champagne Thickums, he's going to want to make the most money. Okay, so that's the only thing. When ego and money get involved, that's why we don't get a lot of collaboration tours like that. And Champagne Thickums, I know this for a fact, it's not allegedly. Champagne Thickums has told people he wants to get paid the most. So let me know how y'all feel about that. Now we got to get into Finally Over It. We got to do a review for the album. It's kind of been a long time coming, okay? Because Musty Walker ain't put out an album since 2022, I believe. Okay. Now, I'll be honest with you. I feel like Disc 1 was better than Disc 2. Okay. That's just my opinion. I feel like the first 9 songs were better than the second half of the album, the last 9 songs, in my opinion. So in Disc 1, she starts off with a song called Scars. I really like that song. I think it's the perfect intro to the album. Then she leads into Rob You, featuring Mariah the Scientist. I liked Musty Walker's part. Mariah the Scientist's part, I didn't feel like it was really necessary. But the song is fire. The song is fire. And this is definitely a record or song that she's basically dissing Little Meech. I think she's talking about Little Meech in this song in regards to robbing him. You know, he always got the flashy jewelry, but he been hanging out with escorts, okay? And, you know, girls that have been ran through in the industry like Selena Powell. So I feel like she was talking about him in that song, and just in my opinion. But that song, I would definitely give it a solid 9 out of 10 or 8 out of 10. I just didn't really care for Mariah the Scientist part, and I don't feel like it was necessary. I didn't care for the Chris Brown record. I don't know what it was, but I really didn't care for it. That one was a big old skippity skip. That was next, okay. Next song, I don't know. I listened to a little bit, but then I was like, I don't know. It sounds like something that he has probably already done with another female artist. It sounds similar to something he has already done. That's why I didn't really like it. I don't think that he's a trash artist, obviously, but I just feel like it sounded similar to something he's already done. I wasn't really impressed. Now, Gold Girl featuring Scratch Off and Doja Cat was a bop. Okay, I was actually really shocked. I didn't think I was going to like the song. But I will say, no shade, this is just my opinion. I feel like Scratch Off might have ate up Doja Cat on the song. This might be an unpopular opinion. I don't feel like Doja Cat fit the song, in my opinion. Like, the way Scratch Off and Musty Walker were rapping on the record, it sounded very cohesive. It sounded like they was rapping similar. It was their tone, their cadence, right? I feel like when Doja Cat hopped on, yes, she had the same kind of cadence, but I feel like her voice didn't fit the record, in my opinion. Okay, I feel like it wasn't necessary to have her on a song, but, you know, Musty Walker probably needs all the streams she can possibly get. That's why I feel like she added all these people. So, in my opinion, I'll be honest with you, and usually I don't really be giving Scratch Off her props, but I do have to give her props for this collaboration. I feel like she ate Doja Cat up a little bit. It wasn't even just the bars. I don't feel like it was really she outbarred Doja Cat, because I don't feel like any one of them have bars. I feel like just her cadence, her flow was better. Her voice fits better with Summer Walker. That's just me. But ain't they both from Atlanta? That probably why. Isn't Summer from Atlanta? See, Doja Cat, she has that valley voice, so it don't always fit. That's the problem. Now, the Baller song, which is in Disc 2, was absolutely positively trash. That Gorilla, Sexy Red, Mona Lisa song, oh my goodness, it was garbage. Trash, doo-doo. Honestly, don't even understand how, like, she thought this was going to be a good record. I knew it was going to be trash because Sexy Red is on it. So I was like, oh my goodness. But the song was terrible. So that was a chop for me. I didn't even listen to the 21 Below Average song because I don't like 21 Below Average. So the Teddy Swims collaboration was kind of fire though. I was kind of shocked. Okay. Because he has such a powerful voice. Musty Walker doesn't have a powerful voice. She can't sing though. And I was actually really impressed. I like that song. And then the Houseway song featuring Sailor was okay. I wasn't really impressed. It was okay to me. Don't Make Me Do It. Tempted. That was fire. I like that song. Finally Over It, the last song on the album, was definitely a boppity bop. The Brent Vyas collaboration. But Brent Vyas always kills it. I mean, I feel like he's definitely amongst the, I wouldn't say newer generation of R&B artists, but that man's talented. Okay, you can say what you want, but that man's talented. So I knew that song was going to be a bop. Overall, I would give this album a 7 out of 10. I feel like a 7 or 6 out of 10. I feel like with this album, there are good records, but I don't know if she has any hits on this album. That's the thing. She has a lot of great songs, but I don't know like if she has any hits. Like the last 2 albums, she had hits. This album, I don't know. I don't know what's going to be the hit on the album. Maybe she was hoping the Gorilla, Sexy Red, Mona Leo collaboration would be the hit, but it's definitely not. That's a chop for me. But anyway, I got some very hot tea on Patreon. Sydney Sweetie, Zendaya, Nicki Minaj, Queen Taylor on Patreon. Link in description. And I hope you guys have a great day.